Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm your DJ and host, Sam Wilson Jr., and I'm here to bring you the history genre of black music: gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, today's hip hop and R&B, Caribbean, Latin, Afro-Beat, Afro-Latina, blue-eyed soul, disco, go-go, line dances, and the Lost 45s. So come with me as I take you on to a trip to the history genre destination of black music. Right now on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and I have a special guest on my show. And this gentleman that I'm about to introduce is from Africa. His music brings us a diversity of musical taste to a large and loyal audience. I got a chance to check out his music video called Show Some Love, and you can watch it available right now on YouTube. So please help me welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, BJ Sam. BJ, how are you?
I'm good. And you? Good to have you today.
I'm doing fine. Oh, I'm doing fine, and you? Welcome to my podcast. Glad to have you here. And
Thank you so much for having me around.
You're welcome. As I said, you are the second Afro-Beat artist that I'm interviewing on my show for season number 4. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure being here today.
Okay, so let's get it started because America may not know who you are, but most of the world knows who you are.
Yeah,
So
right.
we'd like to get to know you more and better. So let us begin, shall we? Now, where were you born?
I was actually born in Nigeria, West Africa, Nigeria. Nigeria is situated in West Africa. It's one of the most populated, most populated black nation on earth.
And were your parents in the music industry, or did they had 9-to-5 day jobs?
Not into music really, not into 9 to 5 job anyway, but just into businesses and stuff like that. That's why they went to. I know my mom was at some point in the choir.
And which high school did you go to?
There was back in Nigeria. That was Anglican Commercial High School.
And which college did you go to?
Then when I finished that, I went for an engineering course. And after that, I traveled to another country to do professionalism in higher education teaching. So that qualified me to be a lecturer.
And what was your major in college?
Engineering, computer engineering.
Okay. Now, who did you want to be when you grow up?
Growing up for me, I actually wanted to be an engineer. At the time, I wanted to be a lawyer. Mix up.
Okay. Now, how old were you when you started singing?
15. I was 15 when I started singing. When I integrated in the choir, I was 15, and I kicked off from that point.
Now, was being a singer your calling?
Oh, initially it was something that because I joined some missionary came all the way from Texas and Indiana and Indiana. They came to Africa and they set up a church, a Baptist church. And when I joined, for me it was just for pleasure, for singing sake. But after a while, after a couple of years, I discovered that it was actually a calling.
Now, did African radio play any American artists?
Yeah. Basically, really, back in the 90s and the 80s and early 2000, the airwave was actually saturated with the American. 90%, 95% of the airwave was saturated with the American music. Before that was in the early, but right from the with the rising with the rise of Afro-Beat, because the word now, even not just Nigeria, Africa, even the world at large, they're dancing to the tune of Afrobeat. So right now, Nigerian music on in Nigeria and behind be far beyond African soil is saturated with Afrobeat music, which is basically Nigerian, originated from Nigeria.
Now, growing up, who were some of your favorite African American and African artists?
Okay, basically talking about African Americans at that time, we talk about Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, of course, Louis Armstrong, to name a few.
And who were your musical influences that had inspired you to sing?
I would basically say, basically for me, I listen to a lot of music, just those I've mentioned, but I would say inspiring. I was in the choir, I saw a lot of people singing, and at a point I realized that this is my calling, and diving in.
Now, you started out as an Afro-Beat artist. How do you describe your sound as you mix your Afro-Beat sound and blend it in with other music genres?
For me, basically, is that I'm not limited to a particular genre. I'm not actually limited to a particular genre because I have a large fan base across the world. So what I do is to incorporate the African sound, the Afrobeat sound, and to other sound around the world to create something phenomenal, something with elements of Afrobeat, jazz, and every other stuff around the world in order to appeal to a global audience.
Now, you've been known for doing music with cross-cultural appeal. What was it like collaborating with artists from around the world?
Okay, basically, you know, it's just like what I've come to realize that as human, we like changes. We like change, you know. We don't like to consume one thing over and over again. As human, no human on earth will say my favorite meal is just rice and I want to eat rice all the days of my life. You understand? No human want to say I want to eat just chicken. Chicken is my favorite. I'm just going to eat chicken all the days of my life. As human, we have the tendency of tasting other things. Even when God gave the children of Israelites in the Bible the manna, it got to a point they said, we don't want to get this manna any longer. Though the manna was good, was the perfect meal, they still wanted to taste something else. So I believe humans naturally want to taste something else. That's why I try to fuse in different elements of music from different parts of the world in order to appeal to people across the world.
Now, you were singing in a church choir, and if so, what church did you belong to?
That's Baptist Church. Baptist Church came all the way from, you will find them everywhere around America. Those are the fundamental Baptist Church. They came all the way to Africa to establish, and I was fortunate to join one of the branches. So,
now, I got a chance to check out your music videos on YouTube, including Bon Amour, Marry Me, Show Some Love, and Jesus Changed Me Vie.
Jesus changé ma vie.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not that good at pronouncing everything.
Yeah.
But please show our audience what those songs were all about.
The first one you mentioned, Mon Amour. Mon Amour is a French word which implies, which means my love. You know, it's a wedding song. It was actually composed, I was called by someone from Switzerland who was coming to get married in one of the countries in Africa. And they learned, okay, they were English speakers, so coming together, just a cross marriage, intercultural marriage. So it's called to sing but in English and French. And I was within few minutes, I told them to give me 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes, I was able to come up with their stuff, mon amour. Then I tried to do the first part in English and as well in French. And the song has gone so. After a while, the song was used in an Hollywood movie, Out of Fatness. The sound is very beautiful. And it talks about intercultural marriage, interracial marriage, because even in America, way back, it was prohibited. Even in South Africa, it was prohibited. Intercultural, interracial marriage was prohibited in many parts of the world initially. But this is what just a means of encouraging interracial marriages.
Now, you're also a university lecturer. What is a lecturer and what does a lecturer do?
Okay, basically, a lecturer is like a professor in the university, and you get to teach students. You get to teach students. In the university, I teach international relations, the US and the rest of the world. I also teach international international trade.
Okay. Now, since we are talking about music and you mentioned lecturer education, as you know, I did take up music education. I was in the third grade, and then I took it up again in the sixth and seventh and eighth grade when I went to junior high school.
Beautiful.
And then in the ninth grade, I took it up at senior high school in the Bronx, New York. So I have to ask this question, and since you're traveling around the world to different cultures and different tastes, why is music education so important?
Okay, beautiful. I've been teaching music for a couple of years in abroad, in primary school, second high school as well. I've come to realize that music is so powerful. I've written a book called The Wonderful Gift of Music, which is available on Amazon. I've written 2 books already. It's available across the world. The Wonderful Gift of Music helps people to realize that the importance of music, because our human body are made with beats, beats. You know, beats, we respond to beat rhythms. Our bodies are respond to beats, rhythm, music, naturally. If you see little babies from their cradle, right from their cradles, when they are crying and the mother just hold the baby, sing lullabies, la la la, sing, the baby will start smiling and they can sing them to sleep as well. So that means our body cannot do without music. There's no how you can do it without music. And music helps the brain, helps children's brain to think faster. And if you think any child is not intelligent in the world, introduce that particular child to music. The child will become more intelligent, because music and mathematics and physics has the same element. They're all about calculation, they're all about artistry. So this helps to sharpen the brains of music, of the children. Why? Because music helps children to retain memories. Okay? Whatever you sing to song can never be forgotten. Even I read Bible personally, and I saw the Bible even when God, when he was trying to pass the commandment to the Israelite, he told Moses to turn the songs, to turn the commandment to songs, so they won't forget. So music actually boosts the brains of children and people across the world. Music is very, very vital. And one thing I've discovered during my years of research is that because human beings' body, the blood veins, our body, our heartbeat is connected to music and to beat. If you have someone that is semi-conscious in coma, if you play that person particular music that he loves most, the favorite music that he loves most, you place the music beside his bed. The person is subconscious, unconscious, okay? Once you keep playing the music beside the person, after a while, the person will start responding, because the music can travel way back down to the soul of that person, even when that person is subconscious. That's how powerful music is.
I'm very glad that you brought that up because music education equals brain power. And that's very important because music brings people together. It inspires us, it uplifts us, and it moves us.
Yeah,
It people brings together all around the world.
yeah.
And as I'm always saying, music education is so important. I'm glad that you shared that with me and shared that with our audience. Now, here's a question that I always ask my guests: living or dead? Which American artist you wish you would want to meet or to perform with?
Okay. Oh, I would say that will be Rihanna. Rihanna, Beyonce.
Okay. Now, when you leave the earth, what would you like to be remembered as?
Oh, basically, I would like to be known for an artist that brought light, illumination, and joy to the world. I would like to be known as an artist that brought light, illumination, and joy to the world. Very lot of people say that I was sad, I was about to give up, and I listened to your song, and I was revived. If you check right now, you go and check "Show Some Love." One of the one of the one of the comment there, the person said, "I'm watching. I was about to give up. My child was sick. Something I was very sad and down, and I turned on my TV to TBN. TBN is one of the biggest TV station, a religious network in the world, and it's based in UK. And instead, I turned on my channel to TV, and I saw this song, "Show Some Love. Let's make the world a happy place." And that's what revived this person. The comment is right there. Show some love. So you see, I want to be known as. I know a lot of people call me. Your song is beautiful. Your lyrics are fantastic, phenomenal, and it gave me joy that I'm so privileged that God has given me this opportunity to bring light to the world.
Very wonderful and inspiring words.
Thank you so much.
Now, yes. Now, here on the Black Soul Music Experience, I always ask my guests who are the top 10 R&B black artists of all time. Now, here's how it works. We start like a top 10 countdown, like the show America's Top 10, hosted by Casey Kasem here in the U.S. We start out at the bottom 5. We start at number 10, and we figure out who was the best singer but didn't get any recognition. When we get to the top 5, we always find out who was the best singer of all time, that artist had some top 10 number 1 hits, that artist had their album that went gold or platinum or double platinum or triple platinum or diamond platinum that sold over copies in print. Did that artist receive a Grammy Award or American Music Award or a Soul Train Award or a BET Award or an MTV VMA Award? Or that artist performed on American Bandstand or Soul Train or The Midnight Special or NBC Saturday Night Live or Solid Gold? Or did they perform on so many local shows, whether it's in the US or in the UK? Or did they have that special on PBS during Pledge Month? Or did they have that live concert special on HBO and Showtime? So, BJ, are you ready to take the challenge?
Yeah. Good to go. So my number 10 will be.
Okay. Yes.
My number 10 will be Prince.
Prince, the royal badness. Prince, singer, songwriter, arranger, musician. He would play guitar and the keyboard, the drums. He played everything. Came on the scene back in 1979 with his hit "I Wanna Be Your Lover." And then when the 80s came in, he had his motion picture, Purple Rain, and it grossed over $1 million at the box office. His LP went double platinum, sold over 1 million copies in print. He won an American Music Award, for best album, he can do genres, R&B, a little bit of funk, a little bit of soft rock, and everything. When I saw his music video, 1999, everything was changing. So his fan base is integrated everywhere, and he written songs for the Bangles, and some of his songs didn't become number one, but it became number one for other artists. For example, Nothing Compares to You, written by Prince, it didn't become a hit for Prince, but it became a hit for the late Sinead O'Connor, top 10 hit. His other song, I Feel For You, that wasn't a hit for Prince, but it became a number one hit for Miss Shaka Khan back in 1984. And his other song, Do Me Baby, that wasn't a hit for him, but it became a hit for Melissa Morgan. Number one hit on Billboard's R&B Black Singles Charts for January 1986. He's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class 2005. So rest in peace to the one and only Prince.
Beautiful.
All right, who should be at number 9?
Then I should choose Marvin Gaye.
The great Marvin Gaye came on the scene in 1963 on Motown Records. He was known for his soft, mellow thing. His influence was Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole. But when Berry Gordy said step it up, he had his hits including Ain't That Peculiar, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, That Stubborn Kind of Fellow, followed by his duets with the late Tammy Terrell. He had his number one hit, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, in 1968. But then he went into the 70s. He had his breakout LP, What's Going On. His debut single was released on Billboard's Soul Singles Charts back in the spring of 1971 and will stay there for 5 weeks. His other songs, including Mercy, Mercy Me and Inner City Blues. His album went gold, sold over 1,000 copies in print. His other albums, including Trouble Man, the soundtrack, which I also saw the movie. His other one, Let's Get It On, number one on Billboard's Soul and Pop Singles Charts in 1973.
Beautiful.
He had other albums, the live album, his other album, I Want You, and the live at the London Palladium.
Wow.
But when he got to 1982, his album, he switched over to CBS Records with Midnight Love. Number one hit, Sexual Healing, back in December of 1982 for 10 weeks.
Wow.
And he finally won an American Music Award and a Grammy. So that was something for Marvin.
Wow.
And his last appearance was on the Motown 25th anniversary special on NBC. And he performed at the NBA All-Star Game doing the national anthem his way. But sadly, he was shot and killed by his father on the eve of his birthday on April 1st, 1984. He was later inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 1987. So rest in peace to singer-songwriter Marvin Gaye.
Do you know why
Okay.
he was shot dead? Why was he shot dead?
He had his argument with his father because during the times he had been to some drug addiction and everything. And he was exiled in the U.S., so he had to move to London. So then he came back home just to restart his life again. But, you know, he had arguments with his father, who was also a pastor in the church. So things, you know, it always comes to family issues when he just went ahead and just shot his son. So sadly, his father passed away back in the late 90s. So Marvin's music still lives on, especially in the What's Going On LP. The same information that took place 50 years ago, we're still feeling it now. Dealing with the war in Vietnam, we had climate change, problems in the black community. So when Marvin Gaye's LP was a success, Stevie Wonder picked it up where he left off at. So they were all dealing with social issues. So that's give you a little FYI.
Beautiful. So,
Okay, who should be at yes, who should be at number 7?
number 7, I would say Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston.
Ah, the Princess of Pop, Whitney Houston, came on the scene back in 1984, duet with the late Teddy Pendergrass. And then by 1985, her self-titled debut LP had hits including You Give Good Love, How Will I Know, Saving All My Love for You, and the remake of The Greatest Love of All. Her LP has sold over 1 million copies in print, won a Grammy and an American Music Award for Best New Artist. Other albums, including Whitney, which include her album Love Will Save the Day, I Wanna Dance with Somebody, and Where Do Broken Hearts Go. Other albums came in with other hits, including I'm Your Baby Tonight and the remake of the Four Tops' I Believe in You and Me. But she'll be best remembered for performing the national anthem in 1991 during the Super Bowl 25. This came in the nick of time when all of our U.S. troops were in Iran for Operation Desert Storm. So everything was all good. So she got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2020. She made her acting debut with the movie The Bodyguard, followed by Waiting to Exhale and The Preacher's Wife. So rest in peace to Miss Whitney Houston, representing East Orange, New Jersey, the daughter of the late Cissy Houston and cousin of Dion and Dee Dee.
Go.
Who should be at number 6?
The next one should be Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie, lead singer of the Commodores, came on the scene back in 1974 with their debut song Machine Gun. They had other hits, including Sweet Love, This Is Your Life, Brick House, Sail On. And then when he got into 1981, he did a duet with Diana Ross, number 1 hit, Endless Love, on Billboard's Hot 100 Pop Singles charts. And then the following year, 1982, he went solo. With his solo, self-titled debut LP, Lionel Richie, he had a couple of hits, including Truly, number 1 hit on Billboard's Pop Singles charts. And when 1983 came along, his second LP, Can't Slow Down, he had a string of hits, including All Night Long, number 1 on Billboard's Pop and R&B Black Singles charts. Other hits including Love Will Find a Way, Hello, Can't Slow Down, Penny Lover, just to name a few. He had a wonderful year, and he did some other duets back in the later 80s, but nothing can compare to Lionel Richie's second LP. Was a smash. And yes, he got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2021. So we'll put Lionel Richie at number 6. Okay, number 5.
So number 5, we can come back to R. Kelly.
Okay, R. Kelly came on the scene back in 1993 with his group Public Announcement. Had a couple of hits, including Honey Love. But then in 1994, he went solo. He had a lot of hits, including Your Bodies, Callin', I Believe I Can Fly from the movie Space Jam. But you'll be best remembered during the later 2010s with the Chicago Step Dance, Step in the Name of Love, Happy People, just to name a few. When I go to the clubs, they'll be playing that step dance, so I'm just trying to get used to those things. So he had some hits back then, so we'll put R. Kelly at number 5. Who should be at number 4? Stevie Wonder, Genius, made his debut at the age of 12 years old, 1963 on the Motown label. Been their lifelong Motown recording artist. He had other hits, including Uptight, For Once in My Life, My Sharia Moore, and signed, sealed, and delivered back in 1970. When he got into the later 70s, he was in social issues. He had this LP called Inner Visions, and he had songs including Living for the City, Too High, and Higher Ground. Both of those songs were dealing with social issues, with systemic racism, drug addiction, and problems in the black community. During the later 70s up until 1980, his LP, Hotter Than July, he dedicated that song, or should I say, he dedicated the album in memory of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And that's when that song, Happy Birthday, came in.
Wow.
So when we do our birthday parties, we don't want that other Happy Birthday song that we grew up all along with. We want the Stevie Wonder version.
Wow.
So that's been played at every club. Anybody who's selling a birthday, they want that Stevie Wonder song. So not only that, he had went to Congress to make Dr. King Day a national holiday. So everything has come true. He's been involved with activism, including involvement with apartheid in South Africa. He participated in USA for Africa's We Are the World, #1 hit on Billboard's R&B Black Singles Charts and on the Pop 100 Singles Charts. And his other collaboration with Dionne Warwick, Gladys Knight, and Elton John with their song, That's What Friends Are For, #1 hit on both Billboard's R&B Black Singles Charts and the Hot 100 Pop Singles Charts. And the proceeds went for AIDS research. So Stevie Wonder had done it all. American Music Award winner, Grammy Award winner, and Oscar winner for his song I Just Called to Say I Love You, and inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 1989. So we have Stevie Wonder at number 4. Okay, number 3.
We can go for Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, born in Memphis, Tennessee, raised in the city of Detroit, Michigan, with her father, the Reverend C.L. Franklin, started out in the church and then went on to superstardom. She had a couple of hits when she was on Columbia CBS Records, but didn't get that much hits and marketing. So when she switched over to Atlantic Records in 1967, everything changed. With her #1 hit, Respect, from her debut LP, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You. That song, Respect, was written by Otis Redding. It didn't become a hit for Otis, but it became a hit for Aretha Franklin. #1 hit on Billboard's Soul Singles Charts, and #1 on Billboard's Hot 100 Pop Singles Charts. And that song became a women's empowerment song for women's issues, and that influenced all the women around the world. So she had other hits, including Chain of Fools, Ain't No Way. When she got into the 70s, she had other hits, including remake of Ben E. King's Spanish Harlem, and then a remake of some other hits in the 80s, which includes Jumpin' Jack Flash, and she did 2 gospel albums, including Amazing Grace and One Lord, One Faith, One Baptism. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 1987. Rest in peace to the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin. All right, we're up to number 2.
I would like to go for MJ.
The King of Pop, Michael Jackson, made his debut back in 1969 with his brothers. Top 10, #1 hit, I Want You Back, from their debut LP. Diana Ross presents the Jackson 5. There are other hits, which includes ABC, The Love You Saved, Never Can Say Goodbye, Dancing Machine, and then by 1976 they moved over to CBS Records, and everybody came along except for Jermaine, who was still with Motown. They had hits including Enjoy Yourself, Show Me the Way to Go. On the same year, they had their summer variety series on CBS. They brought in Janet Latoya, Reby. Other hits including Shake Your Body Now Down to the Ground. Michael had some solo albums when he was on Motown, including Got to Be There and Just a Little Bit of You. And then when they moved to CBS, he teamed up with Quincy Jones, Off the Wall, #1 album. Had some hits, including Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Off the Wall. Sold over 1 million copies in print. American Music Award winner for Best Pop Single, Best Soul R&B Artist, Best Album. And the second solo LP, Thriller, million seller. He had albums, singles, including You Want to Be Starving Something, The Girl Is Mine, Thriller, Billie Jean, and PYT. But the last song that I love is The Lady in My Life, the first love ballad ever. So Michael swept through the American Music Awards back on January 16, 1984. It was Michael's night. Best album, best pop single, best pop rock single, best music video, everything. He swept it through the night. He had his other albums, including Bad, which includes his music video, which had upcoming artist Wesley Snipes, 15-minute music video, and then his other LP, including Dangerous, which had the song called Black and White. I got a chance to see the music video aired on Fox, which had appearances by George Wendt from the TV show Cheers and Macaulay Culkin. I saw the whole thing, even though they had that scene when he had to hold his crotch up, but they had to tone it down when it got to MTV and VH1. And the second song, Remember the Time, I saw the video, also aired on Fox, and it had appearances by Eddie Murphy, Iman, and Magic Johnson. It was everything. Sold over 1 million copies in print. His last album was called This Is It. This was the concert tour. He had the concert movie. That was his last appearance before he passed away back in June of 2009. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, with his brothers in 1997 and on solo in 2001. So rest in peace to the king of pop, Mr. Michael Jackson. Okay, who should be at #1?
Okay, you guys read divine.
Who should be at #1?
#1 should be James Brown.
James Brown, the godfather of soul, Mr. James Brown, came on the scene back in the late 50s with his debut song, Please, Please, Please. Other hits including I Feel Good, Prisoner of Love, Try Me. And then he got into the 70s. He had some other hits including The Payback, Funky President, Papa Don't Take No Mess. And of course he had other hits into the 80s as well. And I can tell you that Prince and Michael Jackson were influenced by James Brown. And then we got into the 70s, hip-hop was influenced by James Brown, known for their riffs and cuts and everything. So rest in peace to the godfather of soul, Mr. James Brown, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 1986.
Beautiful.
Well, BJ, it's a pleasure to have you here on my Black Soul Music Experience podcast.
The pleasure is mine.
It's been a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with me on my show.
Yeah. So I want to tell you about the two projects we're having. We're having a concert in Alabama in June. We're having another concert in Florida in September. And I'm working on a new project right now. Don't worry, everything will be fine. It's about suicide awareness song, global awareness song for suicide and mental health victims across the world. So it's a big project that comprises musicians and vocalists, singers around the world, from all the continents of the world, just to bring awareness to suicide and mental health, because a lot of people, including celebrated presidents around the world, they're actually suicidal right now. They're in depression, they're living in depression, and there's no one to say, I care. So we're working on that, on this project. And it should be out in the next in the next couple of weeks. In the next 2 weeks, it should be on all platforms across the world.
Okay.
So I want everyone
And,
to check on
speaking
BJ
of
Sam
that,
Music on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and LinkedIn as well.
Okay. Thank you for the quick plug and everything. Download all of the artists that we have talked about on this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Visit iTunes.com, Spotify.com, or purchase the CD at Amazon.com. Make sure you follow BJ Sam. Look for him on Facebook and Instagram. Look for his music on Spotify. And check out his videos on YouTube. And make sure you check out the concerts. It's coming to the U.S. He will be in Alabama in the month of June and also in Florida in September. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this episode, please subscribe by going to the link. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Juniors. Don't forget to add the S at the end, -studio. And yes, I will be posting this episode on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. If you have a hard time getting on to Riverside, please become a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Go to the Patreon homepage, type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, and check out all of the audio and video podcast clips, as well as the audio podcast episodes that you may have missed. And if you have a hard time getting on to Patreon, we'll be posting this episode on YouTube. Make sure you go to youtube.com, go to the YouTube homepage, and type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And please pass it on. Thank you for joining me as I close out this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience. Well, that's about it for this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week for an all-new episode. The Black Soul Music Experience Podcast is sponsored by the support of listeners and viewers like you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe by going to riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Juniors-studio. And don't forget to check out my audio and video podcast episodes by becoming a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And also check out my video podcast episodes by subscribing to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And please leave your comments, feedbacks, and replies by going to my Facebook homepage. Go to facebook.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And you can also tweet me on X, aka Twitter, at Sam Wilson Jr. 66. As always, partying, remember this: reach for the top and your dreams will come true, and it can happen to you. From all of us, take care, God bless, thanks for tuning in, have a good week, and please be safe.